Hey everyone, it's Prime with Iron Octopus Fitness, and I'm here in my home gym with this very low ceiling at this very awkward angle to demonstrate two potential chest press movements that you can use if you have bad shoulders. So these are actually chest press movements that anyone can use at any time, but if you particularly find regular pressing movements like push-ups or press-ups or bench presses to bother your shoulders, especially in the front, like right here, these are really good alternatives so that you can still strengthen those muscles that are required in a chest press, maybe any muscles that require you to push out like this in your sport without having to bother your shoulder, right? Obviously you want to do some prehab and some rehab and get some assistance on your shoulder so that that pain stops. But this is a way to kind of work around that issue if you have it. So the two options that I'm going to show you require a couple of different pieces of equipment. You can find most of these pieces of equipment at the gym, but you might also have some at home. So the very first one that I'm going to demonstrate is a low incline chest press, just using dumbbells on a bench. You could also probably do this with bench press with a, what am I talking about? With a barbell, like a bench press. I prefer to use dumbbells just because doing it unilaterally where you're forcing each arm to work separately can kind of keep them even instead of allowing your strong arm to carry the weight. And also it puts a little additional work on your core, kind of keeping you from rocking from side to side. So I like to use dumbbells, but you can use whatever sort of resistance that you want. So you need an incline bench. You can also sort of set something like this up at home with like pillows and a couch and whatever, but it's better to use a nice hard bench that's going to support your spine so that you can focus on the movement in your chest. So this is the incline that I'm using. As you notice, it's really low, and depending on how painful your shoulders are when you do God, I'm having a hard time talking today. When you do pressing movements, you can change the incline depending on what you need. So what you're going to do is grab your resistance. I'm just going to grab some nice light dumbbells to demonstrate. You're going to come down onto the incline bench. Kind of roll your shoulders down your spine so that your shoulder blades and your shoulders aren't shrugged up towards your ears. And then you're going to press to the top by squeezing your chest muscles. Now that may sound kind of weird because of course that's what you're doing when you're pressing, but if you really focus on that movement, squeezing through your chest muscles, you're more likely to engage the muscles that you want rather than using muscles like your biceps to take over. So this is one of the chest pressing movements that you can do if your shoulder is bothered by regular pressing movements. And this is actually right on the edge of bothering my shoulder. So I might increase the incline on this the next time that I do it just to protect my shoulder so that it doesn't bother me. The second option that you can do, you can use a couple of different pieces of equipment for. So I'm going to demonstrate using a resistance band, but this is also something that can be really easily done with machines at the gym. So I don't typically recommend using machines for athletes just because you want to get used to using free weights and all of that dynamic stuff. But when you have some sort of injury, like your shoulder is bothering you, having a machine is actually a really great idea because it forces you to stay in one range of motion, and it actually protects your shoulder and the part that's bothering you from going into a range of motion that you don't want it to go into. Also, because of the way machines can allow you to push against resistance, you can be seated and do a chest press, which again, just like the incline chest press, will protect you a little bit. I'm actually going to show you one standing with a resistance band. If you go to the gym, you'll probably find a seated chest press machine where you'll just sit down and press out. It's a very similar move to what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to get my bench out of the way here. And I just have a resistance band tied to a squat rack right here, as you can see it. And what I'm going to do is awkwardly step in between it. If you have a resistance band that's not a loop, it's a little less awkward, a little less weird. And then I'm just going to step out until I feel a pretty good level of resistance. And I'm going to press forward, right? Again, making sure that I'm engaging my chest muscles first instead of asking some other muscle to come in and take over. And typically what I do at the end of chest pressing movements is I relax at the bottom and then focus on pressing through the chest again. Right, so the only thing, oh, that almost snapped me in the face. The only thing that's different about using a resistance band versus a machine is that a machine is going to give you a constant level of resistance the entire time you press, whereas with a resistance band, as you get out towards the end, it's going to give you a little bit more resistance. It doesn't really matter, but that's something you want to keep in mind if you're going to switch back and forth between the two, is that The resistance band is going to give you more resistance at the end of your press, whereas a machine is going to be nice and constant. So if you have twingy shoulders or shoulders that bother you with pressing motions like I do, these are two great options for you to still manage to get good work through your chest like a chest press without having to bother your shoulder and put it in a place that's going to injure it. So that is your Workout Wednesday tip for today, and go out and give these a shot and let me know what you think. All right, let's get cracking. Adios.